Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the next chapter, as I've been kind of going through that Omen franchise with the Omen 4, The Awakening from 1991. Now, this one is a bit different because it was a made-for-TV movie, and it was, to my surprise, because it didn't look close enough when I bought the set, not in that Omen 4-disc set that I'd picked up this past summer that I'd been kind of using to do these reviews. It turns out that the fourth film in that set is actually for the remake from 2006, which I will be checking out a little bit later. But so to actually get around to Omen 4, I had to hit up Hulu to check this one out. But what is this one about in this entry? So the synopsis is as follows. Two attorneys adopt a mysterious orphan girl as their daughter, unaware she is the new Antichrist. Next in line from Damien Thorn. Okay, well, this is where I felt they... Okay, well, first the good stuff. We get Delia, our new Antichrist, as a baby through elementary school, and we get much more of her than we did Damien in general during that age. You know, not to mention we had, you know, that toddler to 12-year jump in the original Omen films that we didn't really get to see between parts 1 and 2. So that was very interesting. Also, this one definitely hooked me from the beginning, you know, with that whole setup, because I felt like we were getting a reboot rather than just like a straight up sequel like they wanted to try to do more with this, and also to not just make it a carbon copy just by swapping out one kid for another. Also along with that, there's more straight out evil kind of coming off of Delia, which is interesting because it kind of goes against what I've always been told about the Antichrist, you know, what it would be, you know, less all out evil but more charming and likable and persuasive and then able to corrupt you. But as for, you know, at least the first third, maybe even the entire first half of this film, I was definitely on board. You know, I was really interested in it. It seemed to be going in a good direction. But then it kind of trips up somewhere. You know, kind of lost its footing. It felt a bit disjointed to the point where I was really losing interest. So I even had to rewind certain parts because I just kind of lost interest to the point where I just kind of found my mind wandering and I wasn't really paying attention for a bit there. It seems like they went this route to kind of reboot the entire franchise, maybe get another 3 films with this girl being the main character, which is a great idea. You know, I think it had been several years since part 3, so it was a good time to do a reboot, but, you know, the time was right, but somehow it just didn't seem to work. You know, seeing as that this was a TV movie, I'm wondering if either they just lost faith in the script, or once they had that final product, they lost faith in that and just decided to put it onto that medium instead of the big screen. And, you know, IMDb gives this one a 3.9 out of 10, which maybe is a tad harsh. You know, if I was assigning numbers, I might bump it up one more number on that maybe, but because, you know, horror, in my opinion, always seems about a point low on IMDb. Anyways, it really felt like their hearts were in the right place with what they wanted to do with kind of rebooting this and bring this back for another few films, but ultimately this one really fell flat. But if you're interested, it's on Hulu. Your results may vary with that. But as for myself, you know, I'm still looking forward to seeing what this next one coming up called The First Omen, which is coming out in April, to see how that one is, or even to see how that 2006 remake of The Omen is in that box set, to see if they brought anything new and updated and interesting to this iteration, you know, kind of like a new production of a play, you know, something which will make it worth checking out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this little video for what is currently the last in the Omen films, not counting this prequel that's coming out around the corner, or I believe there was a TV series. And, of course, we got the remake coming up in a couple weeks. I'll get around to that one. But there you have it. You know, as I wrap up these first 3, I would say that these first 3 Omen films were definitely worth checking out. You know, all were good in their own way, and I could definitely see checking them out again one day. This fourth one here, though, definitely it felt like they kind of missed the mark with it. They had an interesting idea, but didn't really execute it that well. So I would definitely be skipping this one going forward. But as for what's coming up on the channel now that this franchise review is pretty much wrapped up, of course I'm going to be doing that review of the remake of The Omen to see how that is. Have some more 80s stuff coming up soon. I have about 22 more entries in that Elvira Movie Macabre Coffin Collection box set to go through. Of course, there's going to be some various one-offs, and I was thinking about doing some more David Lynch as well. I recently rewatched all of Twin Peaks, Firewalk with Me, and Twin Peaks: A Return, and since my video on Eraserhead did well, I thought maybe it's time for me to revisit some of the films like Blue Velvet and Lost Highway that I'd only seen once way back in the day. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I put up those new videos, and I will see you in the next one.